Hello guys, in this video I'm going to be going into how to install and use PSC, which is Position Size Calculator, and it's for MT4 or MT5. It's free. It really makes entering trades a heck of a lot easier. You don't now have to calculate any of the lot size or type in any numbers or anything like that. It's a case of dragging lines to place trades, and it's super easy. So I'm going to go into how to install that first of all. So you want to go to Google and type in earn forex position size calculator, and then what you want to do is click this link right here, the position size calculator for MetaTrader. And then what you're going to do is go over here and click on downloads, and it will take you to the correct part of the page. Now this part depends on whether you use MT4 or MT5. I use MT4, so I'm going to download this one, but I believe the installation process is identical for either. So I've downloaded that, and then you're going to scroll down a little bit more and download the script as well, which you will need. So I recommend just downloading, if it's MetaTrader 4, the MQ4 file, or MetaTrader 5, the MQ5 file. I don't know why you'd want the zip instead, but yeah, so that's what I'm going to download there. And then I'm going to head over to my downloads file, extract the zip that came. So you want to extract that, and then you'll have this folder. And so you'll have these three files here, as well as this script file. So I'm just going to delete the unzipped zip, and yeah, that gives us this. Okay, so now what you want to do is open your MetaTrader. I'm going to use an IC Markets demo account to install this. So let's open that up. And once that is open, you see I've got it open here on Euro USD. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go to File and Open Data folder. Once you've done that, first of all, go to MQL4, or it will be MQL5 on MetaTrader 5, and then go to Indicators. Now the first thing you're going to do is go to the position size calculator. That was the folder that you unzipped. So hold on, let me just go back to downloads. So I've got my downloads here. Go into this folder, click again, grab these three files, and then just drag them into the indicators folder. So drag those into there. And yeah, that should be in there. Now you want to go back to your downloads folder, and you'll have the script file here. Then in the data folder, go back up a couple of files. So yeah, back into MQL4, and then go to scripts and copy the script file into there. Okay, so now all your files are in there already. Now they need to be compiled and installed. So you want to go to File, and you want to go to Tools and MetaQuotes Language Editor next. Click on that. You'll open this window. I've got these here. So what you want to do now is go to Indicators, expand that, and you'll see you've got position size calculator. You'll have two files, MQH and MQ4. Double click the MQ4 one and then press compile. And then once that is done, it shouldn't take too long. You want to go to your scripts and double click PSC Trader and compile that as well. And now once that's done, which it is, you can see down here, it's finished. You just click the cross and it'll take you back to MetaTrader. Now all you need to do is scroll down, and you'll see that you have position size calculator now in your indicators. So you can grab this and drag it on to the chart, and it will come up with this settings window. So it may start on this screen. If it does, you just want to click the tab inputs, and it will come up with this. Now, there's some things that aren't very important, but that you might want to change, such as the colors of the lines that will be coming up that you'll be dragging for the entry, the stop loss, and the take profit. I'll just leave them as they are for this video, but I tend to prefer a red stop loss, a green entry, and a blue take profit line. That's just me. Entry line style, again, I prefer a dashed line to a solid line, so I'd probably change that to dash, but for this time purposes, I won't bother in this video. Entry line width, trade direction, it's easy to change that later. None of this really matters. You might want a default stop loss value. I'll just set mine at 1.5 pips. It does it in ticks, so if you're doing, say, 1 pip, it will be 10 ticks. So 15 is 1.5 pips, and then default take profit, I'll do it at 4 times that. As I now like to do, take 20% off at 1 to 4. So yeah, so that's just the default size of your trade that will be. So if we scroll down, none of this is important for me really. Risk, I like to do 0.5, so this is in percentage. The default is at 1%. I'll just change that to 0.5 there. What else? So if we keep going down, you'll see that we've got, I don't use any of this stuff. You can just ignore most of these things. You might want to look into them yourself, but for me, none of this is particularly important. Max stuff, blah 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 blah. Okay, so TP multiplier for stop loss value. So this is if you do want to use that 1 to 4 thing, or you might even use a 1 to 4.5, and that'll include your commissions. It's basically taking off 20% at that point. So I will set mine at 4 times whatever the stop loss is, so it'll be the first take profit will automatically be 4 times the stop loss value, which is really handy. And if we keep going down, we can see any other particularly useful things. I don't use any of this. Okay, so the number of take profits that you use. I currently, with my management style, which I have changed lately, I use 3 take profits. So I've got the one for the break even, one portion of the trade that I will trail the stop, and one that I'll leave open until it hits a target. So that requires 3 separate take profits. Because what position size calculator does, it doesn't actually partial off from one trade. It will create 3 separate trades with each one worth a percentage of the initial risk. That'll make more sense in a moment. So I believe that is about all we really need to do on this screen for now. So I'll save that as settings 1, and then you won't have to do that every time you load position size calculator. You can just load it in from there, and you can also use that for other MetaTrader accounts. You can load that same file. So yeah, you just press OK from that, and you'll see that we've got some lines that have shown up here. And we've got this little screen here. Now this main screen, you see it has, first of all, whether you want to enter long or short, and it has the price that you're entering at. So you can quickly swap and the trade will turn into the opposite of what it's currently set at. Stop loss, you've got here. So basically it's this green line at the moment, and you'll see that changes when you drag that around. Very easy. Then you've got your take profit times 4. So if we click on that, we'll see that when we drag the stop loss, this take profit line, if you can barely see that yellow, actually adjusts depending on what the size of the stop loss is, and it's doing exactly 4 times whatever the stop loss is. So that's that. And then we've got our other take profits down here. If we look at the script, we'll see the percentage share of each take profit. So I want that first take profit to be 20% off to make it break even. And then the other two, you can either, if you press this arrow here, you'll see the others come up like that because they've actually got a set take profit now. And you want to make these three numbers here all add up to 100%, otherwise the trade won't execute properly. So I'll just do 40 and 40, 20 plus 40 plus 40 equals 100. And they're your three separate take profits now, and you can adjust each of those to whatever you want. You might not even want targets for one of them, in which case you just take it and put it at 0, and that won't have a target to hit. It will just be a trade, an open trade, which might be the one you use to trail. So yeah, that is the take profits, those covered, and you'll see those in there. Your order type, whether it's an instant or a pending order, in other words, a limit or a market entry. So that's that. You can hide the lines if you want to. Sometimes they can get in the way when you're trying to actually manage the trade for real. You might want to hide those. In this box, your commission, you can add the broker's commission. So if it's each way 350, add that on there, and it will adjust your position size accordingly to cover that. So you're actually risking 0.5% of your account per trade rather than adding commission on top of that. Obviously that will decrease actually your reward to your risk, because it will be less of less volume or whatever in the trade. So it does reduce the lot size. So I personally just leave that at 0 and take the hit of the commission, but that's a personal choice, totally up to you. And here it basically just, you can change your risk amount here. So if you wanted to do 1%, you can do that. If you wanted to do, 0.62%, do that. But yeah, so leave it at 0.5 for now. And it's got all your reward, it works out the position size, just tells you sort of everything you'll be doing in there, and adjusts it based on your stop loss size and you take profit. Yeah, so it's it's quite self-explanatory. You want to play around with it, maybe use a demo account to start with, so just to get to know it yourself more. But yeah, it's a very good way of managing trades. Now, to actually place the trade, you'll see on here there's not like a button you click to say place trade. So what you need to do, this won't work at the moment because the markets are closed, but you'll have this script. If you remember earlier, we had a script file as well, and you'll see we'll have PSC trader in here. Now what you can do, you can either just drag this on every time you want to place a trade. So this will currently set whatever settings you've got in here at the moment, and you'll drag it on there, and the trade will appear here. It's made a noise because the market's closed. What you can also do is set a hotkey for this. Personally, I like Control D. I don't know why, but it just suits me, and you're not going to accidentally press those two together. It's unlikely anyway. You don't want to be setting it to just like spacebar or something like that. Especially if you've got kids and the kid walks in and just smashes spacebar all day long. So yeah, you've got that to use, and now all you need to do to place a trade is press Control D, and again we get the noise because it's annoyed at us. So yeah, I think I've just about covered everything to do with position size calculator there. Any questions, ask me down below. But yeah, that about covers it. The only thing you can't do with this is a stop order, and that is why I'm thinking about moving to Trade Assistant. But for limit orders, for market orders, all you really need for like using 1 minute entries and things like that, you're laughing here with position size calculator is free. Yeah, not much more to say on the topic. So yeah, cheers for watching, guys, and I will see you around.